Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. I have all new Halloween Dollar Tree DIYs to share with you guys, and I really hope that you guys are going to love these as much as I do. 3 of these DIYs even light up, which just makes for some really fun nighttime spooky decor. But before we get started, if you are new here, please do consider subscribing down below. We are going to be starting off with my favorite DIY from this video. So I'm going to be using these 2 witch cutouts from Dollar Tree, and you'll notice here they do have a small hole on the top where that twine is, and I do want to cover that up. So to do that, I'm just going to be taking some of the lightweight spackling from Dollar Tree and just filling in that hole, letting it dry completely, and then I'm just going to use a sanding block to make sure it's nice and smooth. So now that those are all prepped and ready to paint, I'm just going to show you what else we are going to need. I found this wood plank in the Crafter Square area at Dollar Tree, and this is just going to be the base for our witch. And then I'm also going to be using some of these tumbling tower blocks. Only showing you 3 here, but I did end up using 4 in the final craft, so I would recommend painting 4 of them. And this is the paint I'm going to be using. Since I have a lot of pieces here, I figured this spray paint would be the easiest thing to do. And this one is a chalked spray paint, but you can definitely use any black spray paint for this. This is just what I already had on hand. Now that everything is painted and dry, we can start to assemble our witch. So I'm just going to take my first one here, and with my 3 blocks, I'm just going to be hot gluing them. We are going to be adding lights to the inside of our witch, so right now we're just creating some negative space for those lights to hang. So I ended up doing 2 blocks on the witch and then 1 on the cauldron. And now I'm just going to put some more hot glue right on top of those blocks and add in my second witch. Now before this sets completely, I do want to stand it up just to make sure that all of it is even and touching the ground. Next, I just want to add some decorative elements to the front witch right here. So we're going to be doing this with Mod Podge and glitter. Now I'm not the biggest fan of glitter, but I do think it works really well in this craft. So I have a foam brush here from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to be putting some Mod Podge on the hat area first. And then I'm going to be covering that up with black glitter. I like to work in sections with the Mod Podge, that way certain areas don't dry up before I get a chance to add the glitter. So now the hat is done, I'm now going to be adding some Mod Podge to the cloak. So I'm going to be careful not to get any Mod Podge on the witch face or her hair. So you can kind of see I carved out an area here for her hair, and then also I left a small area for her hand. Now we get to add in the green glitter, which really makes this DIY pop. So I'm just going to be adding a little bit of Mod Podge to the face here and to that small area for the hand. And I did actually switch to a really fine brush for this because the area we were covering was pretty small. Now that we are done with the glitter, I'm just going to shake off any excess and then let this dry completely. Now that it is all dry, we are going to finish up this DIY. So I do have to attach it to the base, but before I do that, I want to add the lights now. Now the lights I'm going to be using are from Dollar Tree. They are these LED bats, and they did have a bunch of different shapes, but we're not going to see the shape in the final DIY. I just really wanted the purple color, but they do have orange as well as black, I believe, at Dollar Tree, or you can even just use the regular string lights at Dollar Tree if you want more of a traditional color. I'm just going to wrap this strand of lights around those tumbling tower blocks on the inside. You can kind of see it here until I reach the end of my strand. Now we have the battery pack, and we do have to attach this to the back. So you could just use some hot glue, just make sure that you are not gluing down the side that you have to open for the batteries, or you can do what I did here, which is just add a command strip, and now it is super easy to turn the lights on and off. Here is that 4th tumbling tower block that I told you guys I realized too late that I was going to need, and basically this one is just going to really help us glue the witch to the base. Without it, it's a little tricky, and this gives us a nice sturdy point to add the hot glue to. Now just hold it in place for a few seconds until it sets and you are done. And here is a closer look at the final result. This one definitely has to be my favorite from this video because you guys know I love witch decor at Halloween time, and at nighttime this one just has the most beautiful glow. Next up, we are going to be making a really quick and easy crystal ball. So I picked up this plastic globe at Dollar Tree. Now you're also going to need a cat dish. They have a couple different prints. That does not matter. We're just worried about the shape here. You're also going to need some spray paint. So I'm just using this gloss black color, but you can definitely use gold for this as well. Now here it is once it was all dry. Next, you're going to need a flameless candle. I'm just using this LED one from Dollar Tree. And you need some Poly-Fil to stuff into your plastic globe. Not too much, just a little bit to kind of diffuse the light. And that is it. It is that simple. It's a very quick and fun DIY. Next up is a DIY that you can make in under 2 minutes, and you only need 3 items. The first 2 items are going to be a piece of fabric from Dollar Tree. This is one of the Halloween ones. They had a bunch of different prints. I went with the spider web. And you're also going to need a foam pumpkin. It can be this one here, the orange one, or even the plain white one. So the first thing I'm doing is just opening up my fabric and placing my pumpkin in the center. Then I want to remove that stem, and I'm using a knife here just to cut a hole in the top. Be careful when you're doing this step. Next, I just want to go around my pumpkin and tuck all of that fabric into that center hole. As I go around, I'm just trying to fold the fabric. That way it doesn't bunch up too much. So I'll tuck a piece in and then just try to fold it flat and then continue until I reach the end of my fabric. So now we have the base of our pumpkin. We just need a stem. And for this, I'm going to be using some felt. And they do sell felt in the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree. Is super simple. All you have to do is just cut a nice long piece of felt, and then you're going to start to roll until you reach the end. Now, some of you guys might have seen my sneak peek of this craft on Instagram. I did share this one early, and if you guys are not following me yet on Instagram, be sure to give me a follow there. I do release some exclusive content on there. I'll leave a link down below. So once you roll up your entire stem, all you have to do is just tuck it right into that pumpkin and you are done. I love how simple this DIY is, and you can use any fabric for this to customize your colors. Next up is a Halloween hack for a fun and unique candy bowl. So I'm starting off with one of the plastic round tablecloths from Dollar Tree in the white color. And I also picked up 2 of these plastic bowls from Dollar Tree in the party supply area. Place your first bowl on a table just like this. Now you want to open up your tablecloth and just drape it right around the bowl. Now take that second bowl and just sandwich that tablecloth right in between. On how tall your table is, you might have some extra fabric underneath. What I did was just tuck it under, and that way it actually gave it a really nice billowy look. So next, I'm just going to be cutting 3 circles out of some paper. 2 smaller ones for the eyes and then a larger one for the mouth. And to attach this to the tablecloth, I just used tape. And now you just have to add some candy to your bowl. If you don't have a side table that would work for this DIY, I actually had a video a couple of months ago on how I created an end table using all Dollar Tree products. I'll leave that video in the description box if you want to check that one out. And all of this candy is from Dollar Tree. I thought the spooky eyeballs were extra fun. Some of you guys might remember how excited I was to find these lanterns at Dollar Tree. Well, today we are going to be giving them a mini makeover. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually just take off the lid. Now you can pull these apart, just do so carefully. So what I like to do is just tuck my fingers into the base of the lantern and just pull up. It has these 2 little lips on 2 of the sides. Once you get the first 2 out, the other 2 come out really easily. And now to get the candle out, you can just push down. The reason we're taking these apart is because I want to repaint them and give them a much more high-end look. So once you have everything all disassembled, you can just put the candles to the side. We're not going to be painting those, and we don't need them yet. So for the lids, I'm actually going to be painting them gold. This is my favorite gold spray paint. If you guys are familiar with this channel, you've already seen this spray paint, but it has a beautiful finish. So this one is going to be going on the top and the bottom of the lids. For this pumpkin lantern, I'm going to be using a flat white color. And for the skeleton lantern, I'm actually going to be keeping it the same color, but I did want to paint it with a semi-gloss spray paint. That way it could cover up the shininess and the texture of the plastic and almost look like it was painted metal instead. Here you can see how that gold spray paint really transforms the lids and almost makes them look like they're actually metal. And the white spray paint covered up that plastic better than I thought it was going to. I did go ahead and just add some batteries to these candles here because these lanterns do not come with them. And now I'm just going to pop those back in place. And now for the trickiest part of this DIY, it is getting the lid back on. But don't worry, it will go back on. But just make sure that you kind of line up those little teeth where they are meant to go. So take your time with this step. It can be a little bit tedious, but trust me, with some finesse, it will go back in. And here is a look at the final result. These ones were pretty close to being my favorite for the video. They're probably my second favorite. I think they look so high-end, and they do kind of look like they actually are metal lanterns. And I had to show you them at nighttime. They have the most beautiful flickering glow. And best of all, when you do have them up against a wall at nighttime, they cast a very spooky shadow. You guys might remember these rub-on transfers if you saw my Dollar Tree Halloween haul. Well, now we're going to test them out. So I picked up these two ones at Dollar Tree. They had the really fun girl one that says ghouls just want to have fun. And this one here with the boy ghost says I'm here for the booze. Very cute and funny. And they actually do have stemless wine glasses at Dollar Tree that go perfectly for these transfers. I actually wasn't too sure what to expect with these. I wasn't sure if they were going to be more of a vinyl transfer or just be like the other rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree, and these are very much just like the other rub-on transfers. So they do go on pretty easily, but you will see they're not as perfect as a vinyl transfer is going to be. So you just have to place your image over the glass or wherever you want to transfer it, and then just start to rub. So you can use your fingernail, but this one actually required quite a bit of force to get it to transfer. So I did have a tool that I used just to help me out. And here you can see where it is not perfect, but honestly, I do think that these turned out really cute still, and I will definitely be using them for Halloween with my husband. And I did hand wash these after this more than once, and it was totally fine. Now, I would say go very carefully over that transfer. Don't scrub too much, and don't put these in the dishwasher, but they definitely can survive a hand washing. This second one actually did transfer a little bit easier, but you can kind of see the bottom letters did get a little bit messed up. So it might be easier to actually cut the pieces apart and do them in sections instead of just doing it all at once. They're not perfect, but I do think that they are still really cute, and I will definitely get a lot of use out of these this holiday season. And if you guys are familiar with me and my channel, you will know that I had to include a free printable. So for this free printable, I'm just going to be using these two 5x7 frames from Dollar Tree, and these are the free printables. I will leave a link for these down below in the description box. They will be available on my blog completely for free. You just have to click the link and print them out. And I did print mine on cardstock just to make them a little bit sturdier, and I do like to frame it above the glass. So these are actually sized to fit perfectly into the entire frame without the matting. That way it really fills it up. And on my blog, if you head over there, you will see that there is a bonus third free print. This one is super quick and easy, but I do think that those Halloween faces are so cute. And those are all of the DIYs that I have for you guys today. I really hope that you enjoyed these. I had so much fun filming them, and I have a lot of new content on the way very soon. Be sure to check me out on Instagram as well, because I will be sharing some really fun DIYs on there. And thank you guys so much for watching. To subscribe to my channel, you can just click on my picture right here, and be sure to check out this video.